Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. In this lecture, we are going to study semi-converter with inductive load. This semi-converter is also called as half-controlled converter. And in this lecture, we are going to study the symmetrical configuration of semi-converter with inductive load. So before starting the video, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. Now let us see some important points related to semi-converter or half-controlled converter. First point is that this configuration consists of combination of SCRs and diodes and used to eliminate the negative voltage occurrence at the load terminals. Second point is that semi-converter is a single phase full wave converter. Third point, it has only one polarity of output voltage and current. Therefore, it is also a first quadrant converter because we know that in the first quadrant the polarity of output voltage and current is same. Therefore, we can say that it is a first quadrant converter. Next point is that in this semi converter circuit, two diodes and two SCRs are connected in bridge configuration, and in this circuit we can see the freewheeling takes place when operated with inductive loads, and semi converters are used for unidirectional DC motor control applications. Semi-converter is designed in two types of configuration. First configuration is called as symmetrical configuration. Second configuration is called as asymmetrical configuration. This is the circuit diagram of symmetrical configuration. This is the circuit diagram of asymmetrical configuration. So in the symmetrical configuration, we can see that two SCRs and two diodes are used. Here also in the asymmetrical configuration, two SCRs and two diodes are used. But in the symmetrical configuration, one diode and one SCR are connected in line, and in the asymmetrical configuration, two SCRs are connected in line and two diodes are connected in line. The basic difference between these two types of configuration is that in the symmetrical configuration, freewheeling process takes place through a pair of diode and SCR, whereas in asymmetrical configuration, the freewheeling process occurs through diodes D1 and D2 only. And in the symmetrical configuration, SCRs remain on for longer period as compared to asymmetrical configuration. In this lecture, we are going to discuss only symmetrical configuration. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss the asymmetrical configuration of semi-converter. In the symmetrical configuration of semi-converter, the operation is divided into four modes of operation. Mode number 1, 2, 3 and 4. The mode number 1 goes from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi. In this, inductive load connected in the circuit stores energy. So you can say that it is energy storing mode. And in the mode number 2, the mode number 2 goes from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. In this mode, freewheeling takes place. In the mode number 3, omega t goes from pi plus alpha to omega t is equal to 2 pi. In this mode, line commutation of SCR1 takes place, and in the fourth mode, again freewheeling process takes place, and here the omega t ranges from 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha. So while studying the operating modes of symmetrical configuration, we have considered load to be highly inductive. So since the load is highly inductive, therefore the load current is assumed to be continuous and ripple free here. First mode of operation is called as energy storage mode. So this is the circuit diagram of symmetrical configuration of semi-converter. We always study the mode number 1 during the positive half cycle of the AC signal. So during the positive half cycle of the AC signal, AC means A point will be positive and B point will be negative, due to which the P side of this SCR1 goes positive and the N side of the diode D1 goes to negative value, and this P side of the SCR2 will also be goes to the negative value. So since this SCR1 P side is positive, this SCR1 becomes forward bias, and this SCR2's P side is negative, therefore this SCR2 becomes reverse bias condition and it goes into the off condition. And since this diode D1's N side is negative, or you can say more negative than its P side, this diode goes into the forward bias condition, and it starts conducting, whereas this diode D2 will go into the reverse bias condition because the N side of this diode D2 will be positive, because this plus will come here. So this diode D2 will go into the reverse bias condition. So both the reverse bias devices will act as open circuit. This diode D1 will act as short circuit. If we consider this device as ideal, at omega t is equal to alpha only, SCR1 goes into the on condition when trigger pulse is given at the gate terminal of this SCR1. Now after the SCR goes into the on condition, the circuit will look like this. Here two devices, that is SCR1 and diode D1 is conducting. So this type of circuit we will get. So here we can see that this is the load current IL, this is the source current IS, this is the voltage across the load VL. So if we find out the voltage across the load, what will be the voltage across the load? It will be equal to input voltage after omega t is equal to alpha. And what is the source current? Source current will be equal to load current in this condition. Now we will find out the voltage and current values for different devices. First we will take the SCR1. It is on condition, therefore the voltage across SCR in the ideal condition will be equal to 0, and what will be the current through this SCR? Current will be equal to load current. And SCR2 is in off condition, therefore the current through this device will be equal to 0, but the voltage across this SCR will be equal to input voltage only. Now we will take diode D1. Diode D1 is on, therefore voltage across this device will be equal to 0 in ideal condition, and the current through this device will be equal to load current, because all these devices are in series with this load. And now we will take diode D2. D2 is off, therefore the current through this device will be 0, and the voltage across this device will be equal to input voltage. Source current will be equal to plus IL and load current will be equal to plus VI. We will use all this data while drawing the waveforms for the semi-converter in symmetrical configuration. Next mode is mode number 2, which is called as freewheeling mode. This mode is always studied in the negative half cycle of the AC input signal. So during the negative half cycle of the AC input signal, this A point of the AC mains will be negative and B point of the AC mains will be positive. So this negative will go to the P side of this SCR1 and this negative will go to the N side of this D2 diode, and this positive will go to the N side of this diode D1, and this positive will go to the P side of this SCR2. Now what happens in the negative half cycle of the AC input signal? Due to this, the SCR1 tries to turn off and D1 also tries to turn off. So due to this, what happens? There is a change in the load current as the load is highly inductive. So as we are providing the negative half cycle or to this circuit, there is a change in the load current. As the load is highly inductive, it will try to oppose any change in the current flowing through it. Thus the load inductance will try to maintain the load current unchanged by inducing a self-induced EMF across the load. So the self-induced EMF polarity will be opposite, that is minus on the X point and plus on the Y point. So this is the self-induced EMF induced by the inductor. The magnitude of this self-induced EMF voltage will be equal to VL is equal to L di by dt. So this negative sign indicates the polarity of the voltage will be opposite to the source voltage. Here L will be the inductance of the load, I is the load current. Now this self-induced EMF will bring the diode D2 into the conduction. So here we can see that this is positive. So this positive will go here because of this self-induced EMF. So this self-induced EMF will bring this diode in forward bias condition. That means this diode will starts conducting. Now this diode D1 will go into the off condition because it is in the reverse bias condition. Because of this stored energy in the inductor, S1 SCR will continues to conduct, it will not turn off during the negative half cycle also. So this S1 SCR will continues to conduct, and now the diode D2 will conduct, D1 will go into the off condition, and S2 will also be considered in the off condition. Now the SCR1 is on and D2 is on. So our circuit will look like this. So what is the direction of the load current now? The direction of the load current due to self-induced EMF will be in this direction. That means the self-induced EMF is maintaining the load current direction same as before. Mode number 1 we have studied. So the load current direction will be like this. Now what happens? The load current will be equal to the inductor current. Let this be I. So inductor current will be equal to load current in this condition, and since here short circuit is there, so this will short the voltage VL here. So the load voltage in this condition will be equal to 0. So here we can see that due to the stored energy or due to the self-induced EMF induced by this inductor, the current is circulating in this circuit inside this loop. Therefore, this process is called as freewheeling process. So we can see that freewheeling takes place due to stored energy in the inductive load, and during the freewheeling process, this stored energy is dissipated in the devices S1 and D2. And in this condition, the source current Is becomes 0 because the input AC supply means circuit will be disconnected from this circuit. So the AC supply becomes 0. So this mode of operation continues up to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha until the stored energy in the inductor gets dissipated through this SCR1 and diode D2. Next we will study the mode number 3. In this, the line commutation of S1 thyristor occurs. This mode number 3 is studied in during the negative half cycle of the AC input signal after the instant pi plus alpha. So during the negative half cycle of the AC input signal, this A point will go negative, this B point will go positive. Okay, so as we have studied, due to the stored energy in the inductor, this S1 continues to conduct, but after pi plus alpha, what happens? The stored energy in the inductor is dissipated through S1 thyristor and D2 diode, and therefore the energy stored in the inductor becomes 0 after this instant pi plus alpha. What happens when negative half cycle comes to the input of this circuit? The P side of this S1 goes to negative. This negative will go to this D2, and this D2 go into the forward bias condition. This is already conducting, so this will be in the on condition. Now this positive will go here. That means this S2 will go into the forward bias condition, and this D2 will be in the off condition. So at instant omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, this SCR2 is triggered by applying a gate pulse to this gate terminal. So this SCR will go into the on condition at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Now what is the condition of the devices? Only the S2 and D2 will conducting in this mode. So in the mode number 3, the SCR2 and D2 will conduct. Now the circuit diagram will look like this after eliminating this diode D1 and SCR1. Due to the reverse bias voltage across this SCR1, this SCR1 goes into the off condition due to line commutation process or natural commutation process. So in this mode number 3, the line commutation of SCR1 occurs. Now the circuit diagram will look like this after eliminating these two devices S1 and D1 from the circuit. This terminal is positive and this terminal is negative. So what is the direction of the load current now? The direction of the load current will be like this only. That means before also it is flowing in the clockwise direction, now also it is flowing in the clockwise direction only. So in this condition, the load current will flow like this and it will come like this. That means the source current will be equal to minus of load current in this condition. So here we have taken source current is equal to minus of load current. What is the load voltage now? Since the load current direction is same as before, because it is entering at the X point and leaving at the Y point, therefore the polarity of the load voltage will remain same. So the load voltage will be equal to the input voltage in this condition also. So whatever be the input signal coming, it will come at the output, but the polarity of the output voltage does not change because of this direction of the load current. Now we will see the condition of the voltages and current of different devices. First we will take S1. S1 is now in the off condition, therefore the current through this SCR will be equal to 0, and because it is acting as open circuit, the voltage across this SCR will be equal to the input voltage Vi. SCR2 is in on condition, therefore the current through this SCR will be equal to load current IL, and the voltage across this SCR2 will be equal to 0 because it is acting as a short circuit when it is conducting. Diode D1 is in the off condition, that means the current through this diode D1 will be equal to 0 and voltage across this diode will be equal to Vi. Next is D2 diode. D2 diode is in the on condition, therefore the current through this diode will be equal to the load current and the voltage will be equal to 0 if we consider this device as ideal. Okay, so these are the conditions of voltage and currents in the mode number 3, and we will use this data while drawing the waveforms for this mode number 3. Next mode is mode number 4. This mode number 4 is studied during the positive half cycle of the AC input signal. Before 2 pi plus alpha we will study this mode. So before the 2 pi plus alpha, when positive half cycle comes into the circuit, this A point will be positive and this P point will be negative. Now one more thing we have to consider here, that since the current and voltage across the load is in the same direction, that means the polarity of the voltage and current is same, therefore this inductive load again starts storing the energy. So in the mode number 1 and mode number 3, the inductor will store the energy and it will again induce an EMF which is called as self-induced EMF in the load. Now we will study the mode number 4. In this mode number 4 also freewheeling takes place. Mode number 4 is always studied in the positive half cycle of the AC input signal before the firing angle. Okay, so before 2 pi plus alpha, we will study the mode number 4. So during the mode number 4, what happens? The positive half cycle is coming, so A point will be positive and B point will be negative in this condition. What is the condition of this? SCRs. This SCR2 is in the on condition in the mode number 3, but it will continues to conduct because of the energy stored by the load. It induced a self-induced EMF, and what is the direction of this self-induced EMF? It will be like this. Negative will be on the X point, positive will be the Y point. Okay. So due to this, S2 SCR will continues to conduct. That means it will be in the on condition. Now what happens? This diode will go into the off condition because this positive will come to the end side of this diode. Okay, so this point will be more positive with respect to this P point, therefore D2 will go into the off condition. This SCR2 is already conducting due to the stored energy or due to the self-induced EMF across the load inductance. So now the condition will be the S2, SCR and D1 will be on. Since this negative will come to the N side of this diode D1, this D1 will starts conducting. That means D1 will be on and S2 is on due to the stored energy in the inductor or due to the self-induced EMF. S2 will continues to conduct. So now after eliminating this SCR1 and diode D2, the circuit will look like this. So what happens? The current flowing through this load will be due to the stored energy in the inductor or due to the self-induced EMF across the inductor, and this self-induced EMF is given by VL is equal to L di by dt. This will be the magnitude of the self-induced EMF. So the polarity of the self-induced EMF is minus and plus. So since this short circuit is coming across this load, the load voltage VL will be equal to 0 in this condition. And what will be the source current? Since the source is disconnected from the circuit, the source current will be equal to 0. Now the direction of the load current will be in the same direction as before, that is in the clockwise direction, and in this condition the load current will be equal to the inductor current I. Now again in this mode number 4 we can see that freewheeling takes place because the current is circulating in the clockwise direction in this circuit. So this is called as freewheeling process. So we can say that freewheeling takes place due to the stored energy in the inductor, and this stored energy in the inductor remains for instant omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. We will consider the mode number 1 after this instant 2 pi plus alpha. So what are the conditions of voltage and currents of these devices? First is SCR1. SCR1 is off in this condition, so the current will be 0 and voltage will be Vi. S2 SCR is on, and S2 SCR is on, that means the voltage across this device will be equal to 0 and the current will be equal to load current. Next is diode D1. Diode D1 is conducting, therefore the voltage across it will be equal to 0 and the current will be equal to the load current only. And D2 is off, therefore current will be equal to 0 across it and the voltage across it will be equal to input voltage Vi. What will be the source current? Source current will be equal to 0 because the AC mains or source is disconnected from the circuit here. Now the load voltage will be equal to 0 because of this short circuit coming across this load. Okay, so these are the conditions of different devices for mode number 4. Now we will use all this data to draw the final output waveforms. Now we will understand the output waveforms of the symmetrical configuration of the semi converter. This is the AC input signal, which is a sinusoidal waveform. It is represented by Vi, and this is the gate pulse which we are giving to the SCR1 and SCR2. So as we have considered the load current to be continuous and ripple free, we are representing this with a horizontal line as shown here. Now first we will take the mode number 1. This mode number 1 goes from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi. So at omega t is equal to alpha, triggering pulse is given to SCR1. So during the positive half cycle of the AC input signal, what happens at omega t is equal to alpha? The SCR1 is triggered to drive it in the on condition. So SCR1 goes into the on condition and diode D1 will go into the on condition. So in this first mode of operation, S1 is on and D1 is on. So what is the condition of the current through the SCR? It will conduct from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. This current will be shown like this. So here we have studied that SCR current will be equal to the load current from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi in the first mode of operation. Okay, so from here to here we will draw one line like this, equal to the magnitude of this load current. Now what happens to the source current? Source current will be equal to load current in this instant. Therefore we will draw one line of magnitude or amplitude equal to the load current like this from alpha to pi. Next is our SCR2 current. SCR2 current will be 0 because it is not conducting in this mode. Therefore, the SCR current will be 0 from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi. Now we'll understand the diode current. Diode current, since the diode D1 is on in this condition, so diode current will continues to flow from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi. Okay, and diode D2 is off, therefore this current will be 0 from omega t is equal to alpha to omega t is equal to pi. Now we will see the load voltage. What will be the load voltage in the first mode of operation? In the first mode of operation, load voltage is equal to Vi. So whatever be the input waveform, it will be equal to the output waveform. And what is the voltage across the SCR1? SCR1 is conducting, therefore the voltage across it will be equal to 0, but the voltage across the SCR2 will be equal to the input voltage. Now we will come to the second mode of operation. Second mode of operation goes from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. This mode is due to the stored energy in the inductor or due to the self-induced EMF across the inductor. So due to the self-induced EMF across the inductor, S1 continues to conduct, means in this stage S1 is on and D1 goes into the off condition and D2 is on. So in this mode 2 operation, S1 is on and D2 is on. So here the source current will be equal to 0 because the main circuit is disconnected from the circuit of load. So the source current will be equal to 0. What is the SCR current? Because SCR1 is continuous to conduct due to the stored energy in the inductor, the SCR current will be equal to load current in this condition from the instant, omega t is equal to pi 2, omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Now we will take the SCR2. SCR2 current will be equal to 0 because now it is in the off condition. Now we will see the diode D1 current. Diode D1 current will be equal to 0 because it is going into the off condition as soon as the negative half cycle comes in contact with this diode D2. Next, diode D2 is on in the mode 2 operation. Therefore, diode D2 current will be equal to the load current. Between this, omega t is equal to pi 2, omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Now we will see the load voltage. What will be the load voltage? Because the negative half cycle is coming and because here freewheeling process is occurring in the mode 2 operation, therefore the load voltage is equal to 0. This we have studied. So load voltage is equal to 0, we will represent like this. So the SCR1 voltage will also be equal to 0 because SCR1 is conducting in this mode because of the stored energy in the inductor, and SCR2 voltage will be equal to input voltage Vi. So whatever be the input signal, it will come across the SCR2. Now we will understand mode number 3. Mode number 3 goes from omega t is equal to pi plus alpha to omega t is equal to 2 pi, as you can see here. So at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, SCR2 is already in the forward bias condition because of this negative half cycle of the AC input voltage. Now we will trigger this S2 thyristor at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. So as soon as we trigger, it will go into the on condition. So in the mode number 3, S2 will be in the on condition. D2 is already conducting, so D2 will be in the on condition in this mode of operation. So S2 is on and D2 is on. Okay. So what happens to the source current? In this condition, the source current will be the minus of load current. What is the current through the SCR1? It will be equal to 0 because it is not conducting, and the current through the SCR2 will be equal to IL in this condition because now it is triggered at pi omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Now we will see the diode currents. Diode D1 is in the off condition, therefore the current will be 0 here, and diode D2 current will be equal to the load current because now it is conducting from omega t is equal to pi plus alpha to omega t is equal to 2 pi. Now we will see the voltages. The load voltage will be equal to the input voltage between this omega t is equal to pi plus alpha to omega t is equal to 2 pi. In the mode number 3, SCR1 is not conducting, therefore whatever be the input voltage, it will come across the output after this instant. Between this instant and between this instant, whatever be the input voltage, it will come across the SCR1. And what is the voltage across SCR2? It will be equal to 0 because it is conducting in this mode. Now we will take last mode of operation, that is mode number 4. This mode number 4 goes from omega t is equal to 2 pi to omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha until and unless next triggering pulse is given to SCR1. Okay, so due to the stored energy in the inductor again in the mode number 3, this S2 will continues to conduct, means in this mode number 4, S2 will be in the on condition. And what is the diode which is conducting? Diode D1 will go into the on condition. The source current will be equal to 0 because the circuit is disconnected in this mode of operation because it is a freewheeling mode. What is the SCR1 current? SCR1 current will be equal to 0 because it is not conducting. SCR2 current will be equal to load current between this instant because it is already conducting. Now we will see the current through the diode D1. What is the current through the diode D1? It will be equal to the load current between these two instances because this diode D1 is conducting now. Diode D2 is not conducting, therefore the current through it will be equal to 0. Now we will see the voltage waveforms between the instant omega t is equal to 2 pi to omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. Since freewheeling process is occurring here, load voltage will be equal to 0. Now what is the voltage across the SCR1? The voltage across the SCR1 will be equal to input voltage. So whatever be the input signal coming between these two instances, it will come across the SCR1 because it is not conducting in this mode, but SCR2 is conducting in this mode. So ideally the voltage across the SCR will be equal to 0 between these two instances. Now after this mode number 4, again mode number 1 comes at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. So this semi converter in symmetrical configuration has 4 modes of operations. So hope you have understood this topic of semi converter in symmetrical configuration. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.